Chapter 1. The Ripple Effect. Tossing my keys and purse on the counter with a heavy sigh, I entered the dimly lit confines of my tiny apartment. The day had been nothing short of a disaster, a cacophony of disappointment that further reaffirmed my belief in the grim realities of adulthood. The aroma of instant coffee lingered in the air, combining with the faint scent of yesterday's takeout, and I welcomed the mixture as a fitting representation of my current life. My job provided no joy. My boss seemed committed to the art of miscommunication, and my colleagues had settled into a rhythm of resignation, leaving a pall of apathy in their wake. The office was a textbook example of toxicity, where cliques thrived and personal ambition was sacrificed for the sake of self-preservation. Accusations flew around the office like confetti, with each person seemingly intent on throwing the other under the proverbial bus rather than owning up to their mistakes. Dad had warned me about this. He said I should savor every fleeting moment of youth, for the burdens of adulthood would weigh heavy. As bills loomed and the specter of rent materialized every month, I had to admit he was right. With a weary determination, I resolved to clean the mental slate of the day. Perhaps a hot shower would wash away the day's grime, a moment to reflect and recharge, followed by a binge-worthy drama on Netflix to escape temporarily. As I stepped into the shower, I let the hot water cascade over me, hoping to wash away the residue of a heavy workday. Emerging rejuvenated, I pulled on a plush cotton nightshirt, savoring the familiarity as I padded toward my living room. My phone chirped insistently from the couch, interrupting the tranquility. "What now?" I muttered aloud, realizing how lonely I sounded, the words echoing in the empty space of my one-room apartment. I picked up my phone, finding an unread message, and one new message. My heart tightened as I clicked it open. It was a text from Kari White, the realtor I had hired to sell my father's property. "Hey Laura, just thought I'd let you know the showing today went well. I think the couple will make an offer sometime this week. Also, we have 3 more showings. Hopefully, we can get this house sold." Gripping the phone tightly, I felt a wave of conflicting emotions rise within me. The family home, my only tether to the cherished memories of my father, mother, and childhood, was now an object to be sold. It had taken me 2 long years to reach this bittersweet decision after he had passed, an agonizing choice that represented the final chapter of a life shared, yet one I knew was necessary as I strived to build my own. The sorrow crashed over me as memories of my mother's last days rushed back, vivid and haunting. I could see her frail figure, hollowed by the relentless grip of cancer, as tears streamed down my cheeks. Swiping my hand across my face, I tossed my phone onto the couch, seeking a distraction. I flicked the television on, searching for a lighthearted comedy that could divert my thoughts. Brooklyn Nine-Nine caught my eye. Its silly humor could be just what I needed to lift the heavy fog of melancholy. I settled into the couch, enfolding myself in a soft, warm blanket. As the episode began, laughter bubbled from the screen, momentarily soothing my restless mind. Ping-shan with a groan, I turned to my phone. "Ah!" I muttered, dreading yet another interruption. It was 9 p.m., and I cursed the thought of being pulled back into the quagmire of work. I flicked open the text and read, "Hey Laura, I know it's late, but could you come in early tomorrow? I need the meeting room stocked with coffee and those pastries you always get. Last-minute meeting. Thanks." Mark, my senior manager, had a knack for deflating any semblance of a good mood around the office. Reluctantly, I typed back, knowing full well that saying no was not an option if I wished to survive my next performance review. "Yeah, sure. I'll be in at 8? A moment later, my phone pinged again. "Could you be in at 6, actually? We're expecting the clients around 7:30? Thanks." Why Matt couldn't have given me a more reasonable request at a more reasonable hour? Frustration prickled at my skin, but I realized there was no point in escalating my irritation. I switched off the TV, surrendering to the necessity of sleep. As I lay in bed, the ceiling seemed to loom like a weight pressing down on me, a daily reminder of my growing responsibilities. I couldn't shake the feeling that I was shackled to a grossly predictable cycle, one that stretched ahead of me like a never-ending loop. In the stillness, my thoughts shifted. Each day arced into the next, a vague blur of empty smiles and forced laughter. I could imagine myself a year from now, still stuck in an unfulfilling job, still alone in my tiny apartment, still avoiding the thought of letting go of my family home. It dawned on me. I was not just selling a house, I was bidding farewell to my past. The heaviness of realization weighed down my heart. I turned on my side, staring at the patch of moonlight creeping through the curtain, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air. A torrent of yearning washed over me, the yearning for something more than this mundane life, something more fulfilling, more vibrant. I could almost feel my dreams pulsing just out of reach. With a sudden sense of clarity, I resolved to rewrite the narrative of my life. I wanted to break free from the monotony, to pursue adventure, or at least seek out pieces of joy that sparked enthusiasm in my daily existence. I thought of my father, of how he embraced life to its fullest, even during tough times. In his spirit, I would craft my future, one rooted in passion and purpose. As sleep enveloped me, I imagined myself in a thrilling new chapter, armed with the experiences of yesterday, but eager to forge an exhilarating tale ahead. After all, though places and spaces held stories of the past, the heart yearned to create new adventures, filled with laughter, courage, and perhaps a sprinkle of the unexpected. I drifted off, the clamor of daily obligations and worries fading into the background as I surrendered to the promise of what tomorrow could hold. An opportunity to embrace change, let go of the past, and finally begin to write the story of my life in the way I truly wanted.